I noticed I see that congratulations are in order because you just had your 1 year anniversary. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so yes, that was yesterday. Our actual 1 year date here in Edina was March 17th. So St. Patrick's Day was our first day that we opened up, and it was yeah, it's amazing that it's been a whole year. We really didn't know what this was going to look like. Like I started in a suite, or basically started in my basement in 2019, and then moved up from there. And opening up a spa was terrifying, but also so exciting, and so it was just unknown territory. And with my team, they just trusted me so much. I'm like, I have no idea how this is going to go. This is like the first one in Minnesota, so there's nothing to compare it to. And I honestly have to give so much credit to them because they believed in me, they believed in the journey, and it's just unreal that it's been a year now and how much growth we've had. And it's just really exciting. And I just wanted to have a day to thank our clients because also we wouldn't be here without them, and for them trusting us and staying loyal and continuing to come and not only enjoy the spa, but a lot of them really connected to us personally and have really good relationships with a lot of the therapists. So it was just a really a nice night to connect with the team, and then new clients, a lot of like old clients that have been coming for a long time to come and just have some good food, some mocktails, and yeah, just really celebrate the journey.
Well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you and your staff. And so, welcome to the Twin Cities Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin King. And today I'm joined by Macy Grishaw. She is the founder of Lymph Lounge. As you mentioned, it's Minnesota's only lymphatic drainage massage spa. So, Macy, welcome to the Twin Cities Leaders Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I want to start from the beginning and just talk about before Limp Lounge and before the business, like who were you and how did you grow up?
Yeah, so born and raised in the Twin Cities, and I say Twin Cities because I had my mom lived in Roseville, St. Paul area, and then my dad is from South Minneapolis. So I feel like I truly can say Twin Cities because I lived in both and had an amazing childhood in both cities. And yeah, I went to school for social work at college and really loved that. I loved working with um, in the social work field. And I think when you become a social worker, you're everyone in our classes, like, they ask, "Why do you wanna be a social worker?" And it's like, "Well, I wanna help people. I wanna make a difference in the world." And I believe that it's such a broad, kind of job or field. And so I did really enjoy that, but I knew as I kind of got into it, it wasn't necessarily for me. I didn't feel that spark once I really got into the social work field. So I just kind of went down a different path of more the energy healing, and I got into Reiki. Along that journey, I was, of course, raising my children. I was married. But once I really got into energy healing and just body work and kind of using that to heal myself, some different things that I had experienced in my life, I it was like a light bulb went off. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what's filling my cup, and what I feel is my purpose here on earth is to bring these services to others. And that's what led me to massage, and then ultimately what led me to really focusing on lymphatic drainage massage.
Okay, so I'm curious, like if we were to put like an age range on this, like were you always someone who felt deeply or like noticed what others are carrying? And I asked that even when you talked about social work. I mean, because you that's still part of, healing and helping people as well. So were you always like that?
100%. Yes. I'm the middle child. There's 5 of us, but I would say in the middle. And I was definitely always the sensitive one, and I was always like the caregiver, always taking care of everyone. I mean, even like down to like giving my mom massages and like my sisters. Like I always was like a hands on, loving, kind of caring, nurturing person. And so I think that's truly what led me to, yeah, that social work field, because I'm like, any way that I can help others, that just brings me this amazing energy that just makes me it just excites me. So, yeah, I think ever since I was little, it's always been me.
Okay, so it wasn't like an experience or something. It was just not like naturally in your DNA, and you just kind of discovered it just through growth and you're just growing up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and I think too, I don't think there's a specific moment, but I was raised, I spent a lot of time with both of my grandmothers on my mom and my dad's side, and I believe they both were they were like the matriarchs of our family. They took care of everyone. They were very loving, wonderful, amazing women, and I believe growing up really closely with them and watching them be caregivers, I think that played a huge role in my life of I just naturally, gravitated towards them, and so I think too, like, being a child, I think that played a really big role in developing me, and just having that natural caregiver spirit.
Mhm. So clearly, like those things have shaped you into becoming the person that we all know now. When did you realize that you had a natural ability to care for people, like in a different way? Like again, is this after high school, in college? Once you were in the social work field, do you know when?
I think, um, I truly think it was when I needed care for myself, when I think as a caregiver, it's really important to put on your own mask first. And when I realized I wasn't doing that and I was like helping everyone, I was doing all the things and I was showing up amazing for other people, but I wasn't showing up for myself. And I don't exactly know like if I could pinpoint when. I would say for sure maybe after I had my daughter and going through postpartum and when you have a baby, you there's so much that comes with that, especially the postpartum part that a lot of women don't really talk about that journey. And I think that is when I really had to turn inward and I say, okay, I'm helping so many people, but I need to help myself first. And I need to make sure I'm showing up 100% for everyone, or else I'm not giving them the best. And that's when I really got on the self healing journey and kind of started playing with these modalities in a sense of healing myself. And when it started working on me, I was like, oh my gosh, like if I can turn inwards and do these things and these different treatments and all the things, imagine what I could do to other women, help and them, help them along their journeys. And yeah, so I would say that's when I started to kind of realize that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
When you think about your original vision for Lymph Lounge, um, when did you imagine it? When did it become a thought in your mind that you wanted to execute on?
Yeah. So I can for sure very, very clearly remember when I wanted this. I used to have my studio was in my basement. It's now my daughter's room, but it was my little meditation room. And I started to really work on when I got into massage and knowing that I want to go and practice, visualization was a big part of that, of closing your eyes and visualizing exactly what you want. And I just remember this space that, when you walked in, you just immediately felt well, I guess I'll backtrack. I envisioned what something that I wanted that I wasn't finding in Minnesota, and it was a space where I could come in, receive these services, but then also like the vibe, like the way that the staff treated me, like the way that I interacted with people, like all those things. I visualized everything. I was like, okay, what would I want, and something that would help me along this journey that I'm going on. And then that just kind of snowballed into this idea of Lymph Lounge and having the space for specifically for lymphatic drainage and then all the things that connected with it. But it really started off of what do you need that you're not finding in Minnesota, and then that would help you along your healing journey.
So okay, you're just reached your year anniversary. So this thought happened. Then was it like a year of just kind of implementation and figuring it out, and then it launched, and now here we are a year later.
No, so I've been doing this. I would say I started planning or like envisioning this. I would say like in 2019. I've this has been like on a vision board and I've been piecing things together and Pinterest boards and doing all the things since then. And it started off as meditated moms. Like that was my vision of like having a space for moms to come because I was on my postpartum healing journey. And so it's evolved from meditative moms to Jade Spa and then now to Lymph Lounge. All with the same theme. It's just kind of, we've niched it down to connecting the lymphatic drainage. But it really started off as, yeah, just looking for something for myself and then just evolving from there. And as I added different modalities and figured out what worked best for me, then it formed into, okay, lymphatic massage is what has helped me the most because it's connected the mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, all into one service.
Okay. Okay. So then, what does it feel like to hold other people's emotions and stories like throughout the day? I mean, I've been there. I love it. And again, like you're there, all the time. I'm sure. But what is it like just for you personally?
Oh wow, that's a good question. It's it's amazing. I excuse me. It's it's really it's excuse me. I think that's just show off how special it is. It's a very special feeling to know that's your throat chakra. That whenever you clear your throat, um, yeah, it's hard to put into words because when you connect with others and clients and watch them on their journeys, it's it's hard to put into words how important and special that is because that trust that you build with your clients and those moments that's shared, through you hear about someone dating and then now they're engaged and now they're having a baby or, all the things and you get to watch these journeys. It's it's yeah, I really truly can't put it into words other than it's such a grateful, exciting feeling. And sometimes there are hard moments. There are hard things that are shared and people do go through a lot of ups and downs in life. But to be able to be that soundboard or to just be that safe space that people can come in. And sometimes clients don't want to talk about anything. They just want to come in, get their service, and they may share like, hey, I'm just having a hard day, but I really need this. I really just need to just let it all go. And it's an honor to be able to offer that safe space and to know that people can leave feeling lighter or leave feeling like they are able to just kind of release, let it go, and then go on to whatever they have to do the rest of the day. But
Mhm.
it's very special and it also is something that you have to be able to um protect that and keep your space safe for those clients to come back in because they know that too that it there's you want them to feel confident and comfortable that what happens here stays here in a sense, and that it is also a very special thing, and confidentiality is very important to me.
So I know when you that it means a lot to you when just in answering that question. Do you feel like did you anticipate that? Did you is it shocking to you that that what you're experiencing, how impactful it has been for you?
Um, I Yeah, I would say yes, especially is it something I hope for? Absolutely. Like I always wanted this, and to see it to come into fruition, I am surprised. In the sense of when you start with just a dream, it just feels like a dream. It's like, is it ever going to come true? But when it does, and when you put in the work, and when you put out the intentions, and then to see it come back, and it's like, okay, this is everything I worked for. This is everything I intended to happen. It is a little bit of like a pinch me moment. It's like, dang, like the hard work, it paid off, and I'm very grateful that when you set the right intentions and when you start, I always think of, we start with love our core values are, respect, love, honesty, all the things of what we instill in not only in myself, but in our therapists and everyone that works here. It really is special to see that other people receive it the exact way that we are trying to present it in, and that it truly is who we are at our core.
I'm curious. I was going to ask you, what have you learned about yourself? But this is such an ongoing process, and so I want to rephrase it by like, what are you learning about yourself as you work through this process and as you continue to scale and evolve?
Ooh, that's an amazing question. What have I learned? I would say I learned that you can do anything you want to do. I think a lot of people start off on journeys and it seems so far fetched and it seems like, oh, this is just one day. But if you believe in it and if it is put on your heart that this is what you're meant to do, you can do it. Forget all the obstacles, forget all the things that they seem like it's too big. It seems like it's too out of your reach. If you believe in yourself, you put in the work, you're dedicated, and you could feel it. It's kind of like a burning sensation where you're like, I can't stop thinking about this. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. It can happen, and it can happen very quickly. So that's something I tell as many people as I can, is that believe in yourself. And that's what I've had to tell myself too. It's sometimes I'm like, no, this isn't real. I walk into the spot, even to this morning, I'm like, is this mine? Like, is this really my spot? And yeah, you just know that nothing is too far out of your reach as long as you believe and you put in the work and you just keep going.
Mhm. Who were some people along the way that's kind of guided you, supported you, kept you on on those days where maybe you doubted yourself, but they kept you on that straight path? Who are some of those people in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. My mom and dad, they both have always been my biggest supporters, and I'm so grateful because my mom is a realist and my dad's a dreamer. So my mom always kept me humble, and she's always like, kind of like checking the numbers and like, Macy, is this, she always keeps me real and keeps me grounded and always tells me the things. She's like, is this the right price you want to charge? Is this, just keeping me in the real and in the now. And my dad is the dreamer. He's like, I'm like, Dad, I want to jump to the moon. He's like, absolutely, go to the moon, touch the moon, you could do it. And I am so grateful to have both of them always in my corner of giving me the reality and then also the dreams and pushing me and guiding me to where I need to be, because I believe that you have to have both of those I guess you can say perspectives so that you can grow and always be encouraged. And then of course my husband, he's been my biggest cheerleader since day one and always encouraging me to continue to grow and to do and follow my dreams. And even when things aren't working out, he was like, okay, we could pivot. We could try something else. And then, yeah, I would say for sure my mom and dad and my husband have been my biggest cheerleaders, along with my amazing family, my siblings. They all have been cheering me along the way. And I'm just so grateful to have them all.
That's awesome. You mentioned earlier, you said that you wanted a service that you felt was missing, and that's why you created what we know now as Lymph Lounge. And so, when did you realize that Lymph Lounge was changing people's lives in a meaningful way, similar to how you saw it was changing your life initially?
Yeah, I would say when I started, I had a little suite on Grand Avenue, and my first real post surgery client was a male client, and he had a lot of post surgery swelling and didn't really want to know a lot of people had swell, or he didn't want people to know he had surgery, and he was really concerned about that, but was really struggling with the swelling. And so I started seeing him pretty regularly, and the before and afters of, and this is more like the physical side of how quickly his body responded to the massage and how quickly he was healing. And, when he saw his picture from day one with me, and then I think it was like 2 weeks later, how dramatically different it was and how much better his body felt. He was able to go back to work. He was able to do all these things that he felt that he was he was restricted of before. And the message he sent me, he was like, oh my goodness, I feel so amazing. I can't believe like how quickly my body responded to this. And I believe that was really the start of, not only did he was physically feeling better, but like emotionally, like he felt better to go out like around his friends again. And it just like was like a aha moment to me too of like, oh my gosh, like look at how much this these massages have helped him. And the physical difference, I was like, oh my, like I even was blown away. I was like, this is amazing. And then so to continue that with not only my post surgery clients, but then I had pregnant clients that were so swollen, so uncomfortable, and again, restricting them. And they started to, again, just showing me before and after, like my feet aren't swollen, my hands aren't swollen. I feel like I can go chase around my kids more now. So, really seeing, I believe the physical is really connected to the emotional, because when you're restricted by physical pain or discomfort, you can't do the things and you get down on yourself and you just feel, it's hard to get to the next step. So I would say for sure when that first client, that first post surgery client, and seeing his before and after was really that big aha moment for me.
And that had to make you feel amazing, right?
It
I
did,
mean,
yes.
you're like, "It works." Like, I knew it worked,
Yeah.
and now you see it working on people, like, and you see the
Yes.
satisfaction that they have.
Yes, absolutely.
So, for my audience who may not know what a lymphatic drainage massage is, so walk us through, like, what is it and how is it different than other forms of body work?
Yeah, so in simplest terms, I like to say your lymphatic system is like your sewer system. It's like think of it kind of like your waste system, and its main job is to one detox your body from all the toxins, not only cellular waste, but from food, water, air, and then also to regulate your water retention, and then also in connection with your immune system, it works closely with keeping your immune system running smoothly. So when we do the massage, what we're doing is we're literally draining those lymph vessels and we're pushing that fluid towards your lymph nodes. And from there, your lymph nodes basically act as a processing site to filter out the toxins. And you basically urinate or sweat out those toxins. So that's a very simple way to describe it. But the reason it's so important and the reason it is getting so much attention right now is because our lymphatic system is not meant to be in an environment that we are in this day and age. So 200 years ago, we wouldn't have needed this kind of massage because we were more active. We had more manual labor. We weren't eating as much processed foods. We weren't exposed to so much toxins. And those things are what slow down our lymphatic system. So the sedentary lifestyle, sitting at a desk for hours a day, like our lymphatic system when we're sitting, it's just sitting there. It doesn't have a pump system. So if we're sedentary, then that fluid is just sitting there, not moving, and then it builds up. That's how you get that swelling, that inflammation. So the more active you can be, the better for your lymphatic system. And so with the massage, again, we're pushing that fluid, we're kind of draining those lymph vessels, speeding up that process for your body. And that's where also that detox term comes from because we're in a sense kind of rapidly draining your body and detoxing it so that people do feel lighter, they feel more refreshed, they feel that kind of that boost of energy because we're getting that junk out of the body and kind of letting your body reset in a way.
And in the example that you mentioned earlier, you mentioned about the person that you were working on and how he had the difference, but also you talk about women and women who may be pregnant or coming off of pregnancy. And so really for regardless of gender, I mean, like you're seeing like it doesn't matter. Like these results or these types of services helps people in their own unique ways.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, we see people of all ages, all different, a lot of people just for health and wellness, but also a lot of clients for, like you said, postpartum, post surgery, a lot of people that are going through like mold detoxes or different autoimmune conditions, or maybe from traveling. Traveling is really hard on our bodies. So clients will come after they have a long travel or go out of the country. Um, it really across the board. We even have student athletes that have injuries that have, extreme swelling from these injuries and need need help from that. We have the pleasure to working with a lot of athletes and helping them recover just after games or, whatever, or just feeling better, just getting that lymph moving. So it really is amazing that it can be applied to anyone. I do it on my own children. Like when my sons are sick, working on opening up their face lymph nodes, just moving everything out of the body. Like they benefit from it too. So it really across the board is great for everyone.
And that has to feel good that, I mean, regardless of athlete, non-athlete, this person, that person, whatever, is that we all need this. We all can benefit from it, and it has emotional and physical positive results. And regardless of
Yeah,
walk of life you're in, or or how active or non-active you are, like the benefits are there.
absolutely. Yes. Mhm.
So talk to me about, what does this healing journey look like to you now versus maybe what it looked like when you first began? Maybe in 2019 or maybe even before 2019, like just kind of the evolution of it.
Yeah. That's also a great question. I believe when you starting with yourself and being your own believer and the self talk that you have in your own head, it's the most powerful thing we have um, in this world. Because when you doubt yourself or the story you tell yourself, you're mind and your body is going to believe it. So for me, when I was trying to figure out, especially with my postpartum journey, and I was thinking it was just me, there was something wrong with me. But then when I started connecting with other women and started hearing that I wasn't alone in this, and then so I started telling myself, okay, this is a natural part. Like my body just had a baby. I need to give myself grace, and I need to understand that this is normal and I just have to work through it. My perspective on life changed, and I didn't have the kind of story of why is this happening to me? It was more so, okay, this is happening, but what can I do to fix this? Like I'm in charge of my own life, and I have to be the one to change things, and I have to be the one to put things in action, or else I'm just going to sit in the same cycle. So I think if anything, I learned that you have to be okay with things not going exactly how you want it, but you can't give up. And you have to tell yourself, this is gonna change. I'm gonna find an answer. I'm gonna feel better. And it's I've said this before, it's like you kind of fake it till you make it. And that has been my biggest kind of mantra of like, even with the spa, I'm like, I don't have it now, but I would walk around like I was a spa owner. I would dress and like do the things like a spa owner would do, even when I didn't have it, because I knew one day I was gonna have it. And if I told myself I wasn't, then it wasn't gonna happen. But if I said, every morning, Macy, you're gonna have a spa. You're gonna do this. You're gonna be successful. It's gonna come into fruition. You have to tell that story, and your brain and your body just kind of naturally does it because it's like, okay, this is what you're telling me is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I think a health healing journey, no matter what it is, it's lifelong. I'm always learning things. I'm growing from all the people that I've met and the connections I have, but it really is a lifelong journey, and I just feel so grateful to have all these amazing people around me and be able to impact it and grow from with others.
I love that because it's so inspirational because you saw what you saw in yourself what we're seeing now, right? And it's
Mhm.
almost like you were already doing this before the world. Now they see it, but you're like, no, I saw myself this 10, 15 years ago. So where did you learn that? Or how did you adopt that mindset, or how did you develop into that line of thinking?
Mm. I mean, I really have to say my parents, like my my mom is a very confident woman, and she would speak things into existence. Like I remember I don't know if many people, I don't even know if they make them anymore, but she wanted a silver Xterra and a truck. And I remember as a kid, she had it in our office. And I was like, why do you have this picture of this truck on it? And she's like, I'm gonna get that truck one day. Like, I want that truck. And for, I don't know, a few years, like she always had that truck on the wall. And then one day she got the truck. And it was just such a cool as a kid, I don't think I really understood it, but I was like mom really like kind of manifested that. She put that on her, I don't even know, it wasn't even a vision board, but she put that up on the wall and she's like, that's what I want. And she worked hard and she got it. And I really think that that has like stuck in my brain of like, okay, even if in the moment it feels like it's something so far away, like put it up there and say, I'm going to get that. I'm going to do this, and tell people you're going to do it. Like share that, because then the universe and people around you, they're going to be like, yeah, you are. And maybe even kind of help you along that journey. And then same thing with my dad. There's so many instances where we would just like, just talk about different things. And I remember I wanted a clothing brand when I was younger, and he sat me down and he's like, okay, let's write it out. And I wanted a clothing brand that like had candy strings so kids could like walk around eating candy on their sweatshirt string. And I was like maybe 10, and he sat me down. We wrote a whole business proposal. We sent it to the post office and got it. So it got stamped. And so if anyone tried to steal my idea, they couldn't. And I just grew up around entrepreneurs and people who just had like undeniable confidence that as a kid I didn't realize it, but now as an adult I'm like, I was kind of meant for this. Like people, like my family always fed me encouragement, and everyone around us to do whatever you want to do, and nothing's too far out of your reach.
I love that story. I mean, again, the process of how someone becomes is fascinating to me because those are the parts like you see the results and the outcomes, but like it's rooted in all these different stories and experiences, and so I really appreciate you
Yeah.
sharing that with me. This segment is sponsored by Kowalski's Markets, where it's all about the joy of good food. So I want to ask you now. I want to get to your Twin Cities hidden gem, which is ask all my guests what their Twin Cities hidden gem is. It could be a place, event, or an experience, and so that you think more people should know about. So what would that be for you?
Yeah, I was excited to share this, and I love that sharing a spotlight. So my hidden gem would be Life Juices. I'm even drinking one this morning. So this is a juice. I would say bars. It's called Superfood Bar. And it's in St. Paul. It's on Lexington and University, I believe. And it's a really cool concept. The gentleman that runs it, he took an old Dairy Queen and turned it into an organic juice bar. And in a city where there's not a lot of really healthy options, a lot of people call food deserts. So it's a really amazing concept. And I believe his journey, I connect a lot to it because he lost his father to lung cancer, and that's what really sparked him to go on this health journey of taking care of himself better, and then having this juice bar. And I also grew up in St. Paul. I'm a Fawn, so just right down the street from this place where it used to be a Dairy Queen, that's not so healthy, but then to turn into something healthy, I think it's just such an amazing kind of revolution of the area and the city, and to offer this to the community, it's just really great. So I would say a lot of people, go check it out, and they have all kinds of different healthy foods. But yeah, I would say that's for sure my hidden gem, and they're delicious. So many great options there.
That is awesome. Macy, I really appreciate your time and meeting you and being able to learn more about you, share your story.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, and I know my listeners will learn a lot as well about not only Lymph Lounge, but just who you are and how you've evolved into the person that you've become. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it too. Thank you.
And thank you for listening to the Twin Cities Leaders podcast. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and now we're on Apple Podcasts. So I'm really excited about that as well. So I will see you next week.